Fueled by Deathcast.
Talk about what we're doing right now, podcasting, which is, it's funny. I love talking to people who have gotten into this because I have a similar story from a lot of people where a few years ago, I wasn't even listening to podcasts, let alone hosting a podcast. Yeah. What got you into thinking I'm going to start a podcast? Is this your first podcast, Bosscast?
This is my first podcast.
Wow. So what got you going into doing that?
Very much like you. I don't know. I just was like, I feel like I've had friends that had one, and then and I was like, oh, that seems interesting. And I have a habit of it's once again people telling me things. I have a lot of friends who always be like, oh, you're so good at interviewing people. You're so good. Like I love it's like you were good when we do at the top of a show. Like we do an audience interview or if, we can do one-on-ones. People are always like, you're so good at that. You're so personable. It's like you really bring stuff out of people. So I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, I wonder if I can have something to talk about and just where I can riff with people and just do that and see how it goes. So I had this former student of mine who started this network, the Brain Machine Network. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, oh, well, maybe I know he does podcasts. I'll just have him do the technical stuff and I'll just give this a whirl. I'll see if he's game for it. And he was like, yeah. He's like, this sounds great. He's like, I'd love to work with you. My producer, Leif Noxon. So I was like, cool. So I just did it. I did it on a whim. I really did it in a sense of, and I don't know how, you guys did it, but I was like, I just wanted, this was I'll just gonna be a little bit of a passion project. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I made a web series with a buddy of mine named Jeff Garlock. Mm-hmm. And we made that and had with the intention of we're going to make this web series and we're going to sell it and we're going to see how far we can take it. And we sold it to IFC and they put it up on their website and stuff like that. And we were like, we did what we wanted. With this, I had no plans. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any of that. I'm just I'm just going to sit down and talk to people about Bruce Springsteen and just keep recording it because I find it fun.
Yeah, and I think honestly, that is, and we've said this before on our show too, if you're going to get into the world of podcasting, that is the absolute best way to do it.